Maybe I was impatient. Oh, maybe not. Maybe. Which acts like it's doing something. Cool, it looks like I am live, at least from my perspective. It looks like everything is going okay. So once chat lets me know, I'll get going. Hey Javier, can you hear me? Can you see me? Cool. Javier is confirming that in fact I am live. So let's get this stream going, I suppose. Hey Soap Fever. Hey chat. Thanks everybody for showing up and bearing with me with trying to sort out why my stream wasn't streaming. I don't have any particular reason, but restarting it a few times seems to have worked. So hey everybody, I am Joshua. Today is June 4th, 2017, and today I'm working on my video game Delver. You can see the website behind my head there. You can find it at delvergame.com. For those of you who do not know, Delver is a procedurally generated dungeon crawler with roguelike, first-person, and fantasy elements. I am the art guy. I do all the 2D art, 3D art. I do some level design. I do some programming. I do a little bit of everything because there are just two of us working on this. So we wear lots of hats, play lots of roles. The other developer on this project is named Chad. He is the original creator, primary developer, all that good stuff. Hey Dakota, thanks for popping by, man. All right, so again, we are in early access. We've been working on it for 4 or 5 years now. I've been on the project 4. Chad's been working on it 5. We are on Steam early access for $7.99. So if you want to support us, you can do that. If you want to wait for us to come out as a full release, you can also you can wait for that as well. We should be releasing sometime later this year. In fact, my work right now is pushing towards doing this update number 15, which is scheduled to come out sometime in June. It may be late June at this point in time, but we'll see. Also, if you don't like Steam, if you want to do Humble, you can do Humble. That will also give you a Steam key. But just know that the Steam build is the latest and the greatest, and the Humble build is quite a bit older, as we're focusing on Steam first while we're in development. And then once we release, we will make sure that we cover as many platforms as makes sense for us. Cool. So let's get right into the good stuff. Let's take a look at this past week in development, see what's going on. Cool. So let me just paste my little git log command here. Just a git log, one line since a week ago, and some pretty formatting. And this should be mostly Chad because he's working out of this branch. Yeah, it looks like it's been a very productive week. So I've been in my branch, I've been working on updating how our like this gen info system. Basically, it's kind of like a decorator, how it works on decorating walls, and I've been tweaking that to try to get more mileage out of it. Mostly because the initial implementation was a bit rough and we never really used it, so I'm trying to make it more usable and get a little bit more out of it. Chad is still playing around with these sprite fog, which is kind of cool. Again, not sure if it fits quite yet, but we'll keep working on it till it looks nice. This is so that there can be. He's also using it not only for fog but also for like glow. Cool. Drawables with halos now render fog sprite halo. That's cool. Fixing halo offsets and particles. Looks like yeah, the halos are the little lit up areas around a light source. Loading into an overworld level, loads nearby chunks in the loading screen. Okay, cool. So it looks like when you pop into an overworld level, what we do is we will go ahead and load neighboring chunks, so that way you get less of a hitch when we have to load stuff. Added an optional level to the shop transition area, so this is a little secret Chad has been working on, which is pretty cool. Fixed editor slowdown when dragging static meshes, so it looks like Chad's been fixing that. Some editor performance tweaks, which is cool. Fixed drawing of prefab selected entities, that's nice. Fixing projected decals not rendering full bright in the editor when lighting is disabled. Looks like lots of editor love that Chad's been doing here, which is cool. Yeah, the set dressing on the new transition level is pretty cool. So this is a big one I'm really happy about right here. It says added validation step to procedurally generated levels to make sure they are navigable. So what this is our procedural generation system works by building out like a path in like say a 5x5 grid. And then for each grid cell, we look and see if it is a start, a stop, is it a hallway, is it an intersection, is it a corner? And then we replace appropriately shaped rooms for it. And the initial implementation, we built all these rooms by hand, which was pretty labor intensive. I mean, they look nice, but they aren't. You can start seeing a pattern after a while. And also, again, it's just a lot of work for us to make them and make them interesting, but not too interesting, so you can't see the repetition. So we added a room builder, which can build rooms dynamically. But the problem is sometimes it would build disconnected rooms. So Chad has basically added a validation step that does a flood fill to make sure that you can get from one edge of the room to the other, which is very, very helpful. So this should shore up. Occasionally there would be disconnected level pieces, and this should detect that. Dakota says, now can we have different shapes of glow and fog, or is it one shape for each? I'm not sure how exposed that is, but it's probably just a property on things. Cool. So, Chad fixed the debug would crash when there's no level or previous level to skip to, so that's nice. Whoa, okay, the room generator verified us across bridges, that's pretty cool. Yeah, because crossing bridges is actually kind of a non-trivial thing, which is good. We're teaching procedural room generators how to build a secret area. That's nice. That's really cool. Procedural secret rooms can be monster closets sometimes. That's cool. Secret areas take their textures from the room generator theme. Nice. Adding a secret marker that spawns the good loot and sometimes a monster. This is pretty cool. It's nice to have a guaranteed good loot marker, which is pretty cool. Adding a trigger message from the player finds a secret. So this is just like in Quake or in Doom, that when you hit this this trigger message, it just pops up a message saying like you found a secret, which pretty gamey. Not sure if we'll keep it, but it's a nice thing to have. Tweaking size of triggered messages. Which is pretty cool. Wired up secrets found, localization text, and history tracking. So it looks like we're doing a little bit more stat tracking, which is nice. Asset picker knows whether to include the base directory for some assets now. So this is just in the editor. I think we have an asset picker, which allows you to kind of more intelligently pick things. Decorating new transition warp level. Added special hidden doors for cold theme. That's cool. Editor right-click menu shouldn't clip off bottom anymore. Nice. Added matching secret doors per level theme. Wired room builder themes. Unifying pop-up message, text size everywhere. So yeah, Chad has had a very busy week, which is really cool. If I switch over to my branch, it's probably not as interesting, because I think I've just been doing something like yeah. So again, a lot of prop work, a lot of trying to figure out what things are going to look like. More work on this wall decorator, making sure that it places things correctly. I mean, it's either gonna be late June or it's gonna slip to July. We'll see how things go. Again, I'm trying to keep you folks updated weekly, and you can see where I'm at. But right now, I'm worried because I'm still like creating props and I'm still creating textures, and I'm not actually building rooms yet. So that makes me nervous, to be honest with you. Because it takes me roughly 2 to 3 hours to build a single room, and I probably need about 20 rooms. So once I have the textures and the props locked down, it's still going to be like 40 to 60 hours worth of work. Yeah, so this is just me. Yeah, if you got my Wednesday bonus stream, I added a new property for the gen infos where you can have it prefer or avoid placing things into corners, which is nice, and I can preview some of my work real quick. Hey folks. Hey Tesla Coil. Hey Plum. Thanks for coming to hang out with me while I work. File, open, levels. Let me see, test, and then this new dungeon theme. This is kind of trying to set the like a look development of what the new dungeon theme should look like. So I'm playing around with having it generate stuff at random. Like it'll put these like wall pillars in at random. It will also place like these windows, and it will place other things that are like it'll place posts on the wall, and let me see what else. Yeah. The idea being that designers don't have to do as much work beautifying the level. You should just be able to just create an empty room, and it should look relatively interesting. I mean, obviously, you still want to put some effort into making levels, but trying to make it a bit faster to make these rooms, which will again save production time overall. So yeah, you have empty room, and you pop in and just trying to add just a little interest by adding windows and other decorative elements. And again, it's again, since it's all randomly generated, you never really get super consistent results. But as long as it's not like it's not going to change the shape of the level really, or the room. It's just going to kind of spice it up a little bit, so it's not as boring. And it's not really dropping very many pillars in here at all, which is curious because it drops them in the other areas. Not sure what that's about. Weird. Let's say I think I may have brought the chance down. Again, a lot of this stuff is just fiddling with numbers. Cool. So I think I want to start actually with some programming. I think I want to add one more check to this decorator stuff, just to make sure. Like I want to be able to place, right now I can only place stuff that fits cleanly inside of one tile. So like these are fine, but these are almost like at the biggest you can go. So I'm going to I think I have a simple algorithm that will allow us to place larger things, and we can just kind of check an area if it's solid or not solid. That should be fairly straightforward to do. Okay, let's hop into level and let's take a look. So I'm trying to think, is this only for the wall generator? Because I think already I have a decorate wall width method. And inside of that, it has a lot of checks just to make sure the placement is good. Like we do a collision against a bunch of stuff. Don't overlap existing geo. Don't place outside a level. Is this entity contained in tile? And this only checks a single tile. So what I probably need to do is look at the extents of the bounding box and build a range to check over. Because if you look right now, it just says the tile to check is e.x and e.y. So we're checking a single tile. So what I should do is just look at. So this is the entity bounding box, and I should be able to get the min x, min y, max x, max y chords off of this. So let me just try that real quick. See something like min x equals EBB dot so this bounding box is a libgdx thing. There's a min and a max, which is a vector. Yeah, so it'd be something like EBB dot min dot x. There we go. And this should be a float, I believe. And then float min or max x equals EBB dot max dot x. There we go. Sorry. I'm trying to think. I think the chords are. This sounds familiar. Min dot x. Have I used this somewhere else? And then I think float max y equals EBB dot max dot y. and float min y equals e b dot min y dot y. I think the chords are off. I think libgdx uses a different up vector than we do, but I can just check this real quick. Hey, Adapunkin. Okay. Well, we use this Y chord to get the tile. Yeah, so I think I just need to do some rounding and call it good. So this one should check. So yeah, it's contained within 6, and this Y looks like actually be min and max. I think actually the chords. So what kind of entity is this? This is a prefab. It's a dungeon set. It's a pilaster. So the pilaster should be 3 units tall. This max value. 375, and the min value 325. Just trying to make sense of this and see which chords are what. Okay, so the x dimension is 0.5, the y dimension is 3, and the z dimension is 0.5. So yeah, so I need to flip my chords. Yeah, and here I'm doing the check right here. Yeah, for the y is the vertical. So yeah, I just need to switch up these axes right here. Z, which is fine. There we go. So for int I equals min x, I less than max x. I think less than equal is what I want, because I want it to do at least once if it's if the min and the max are the same. I plus plus. Actually, do I think I don't have a x equals that. X and x, and then int y equals min y. Y less than max y. Y plus plus. And then I need to round these appropriately. These need to be something like int and I think that should be sufficient. Okay, and then yeah, these all types need to be int as well, because I'm being silly right now. Cool. I just prefer white theme myself. Even my desktop is very bright. For me, it gives good readability. Cool. And then tile T equals get tile X and Y. Yeah, then so we need to check the bounds for everything. So if T T dot, oh yeah, block motion, return false. So this should take care of the case where it's solid or it's yeah, I have the exact opposite. I have all my apps on light theme. So if it blocks motion, return false because it's not contained within this tile, or yeah, this check down here. So basically, I return false because I'm trying to shortcut. So if any of these conditions return false, just go ahead and stop our check. So let's see how well this works. I have a feeling that I'm handling this incorrectly. And also, I probably need to create some large things to place just to verify that it is working as expected. Okay, so min x is 6, max x is 6, min y. Yeah, max y. So this should do just a single tile. Oh, nope. So I forgot my less than equals operator. I'm silly. Yeah, I always hear people talking about how dark theme is better for your eyes, but I've never actually. It's never bothered me personally, and I've never read anything to that effect. But I'll take your folks' word on it. Okay. This block motion, false. Let me just see if this behaves the same way that it did. So it looks like stuff is getting placed. Maybe. Yeah, so those are, yeah, so it looks like it's working okay. I'm just going to now create an artificially large thing. Because what I think would be cool is for it to be able to find a room on these larger walls to actually place like bigger pieces of geometry, which I think would look cool. Yeah, also I like to keep my room pretty well lit. Yeah, so I think this. Let me just add a breakpoint here and here, just to make sure that. See if that's actually ever getting hit. It shouldn't, because all the prefabs right now should be contained within a single tile, so that breakpoint should never be getting hit. But let's go ahead and let's fire open Blender and take a look at some 3D models. Delver props. There we go. Yeah, and I also spent some time this week just cranking through, trying to get some new props. So you can see, like, I have this cool big fireplace that I haven't textured yet. That will, again, this is kind of the, I guess this is kind of the use case, right? Is this it's a too wide thing, but actually the door is actually a decent enough use case. I think yeah, it is too wide. So let's just go ahead and use that. Pardon me. I think I have dungeon sets, door arch. Yeah. So I could just have it slap door arches on the wall, and that would be a decent enough test. So I'm just going to copy pilaster. So for those of you who don't know, pilaster is the name of the architectural feature that is like a pillar, but it's only a half pillar attached to a wall, is what it's called. I'm going to crank this up to 100%, so it should put it everywhere it possibly can. Never place in corner, that's cool. Spawns, category, what was it called? Door arch. There we go. Let's see what this does. Did it slap any down? Let me give myself a nice big empty space. Okay, let's just add some torches here and there so I can see what I'm doing. So it doesn't seem to be placing them at all. I don't know what this guy's all about. So let's see why it's not placing them. Did I run it in debug mode, hopefully? Okay. So let's look at this. So it's not actually hitting that breakpoint. Let's say if t equals null or t.block motion. Control Shift F9 to monkey patch. There we go. And plate. And this entity E definition sets pilaster. So let's just set a conditional breakpoint. So e.name equals door arch. It's complaining about this name property. This should be fine. Done. Does that mean it's never going to hit? Yeah. Let's put that. Let's change this. So oh, so let's try prefab E. Not equal to null, and prefab E. The name equals door arch. I think that's the correct way to do this. There we go. Yep. Is it still complaining? Oh no, it's not complaining. It just the question mark indicates that it is a conditional breakpoint. This should only break when it's trying to place door arches, and it's not trying to place door arches. Did I goof up the? Did I goof up this? Door on wall. That all looks fine. So let me stop and rerun delve edit. Take care, Dakota. It is not me just do a little troubleshooting to see why it's not actually ever hitting that particular gin info object. Yeah. Okay. So let's just take a look up here. Info. Okay. There we go. So this is iterating through all the gin infos it's found in the theme. So I can hit a breakpoint here and see what gin infos it actually has. Okay, so gininfo.gininfos. There's 16 of them. Rocks, decorative grass. This should be glowing crystals, small mushroom patch, spider web, bookcase on a wall, crate in a corner, window on a wall, post on a wall, door on a wall. Okay, so that's correct. Okay. So this should be info.comment equals door on a wall. I believe it's the exact string I used. Door on wall. Oh, and let's do something like comment dot equals, because I'm in Java. And I want to compare objects, I want to compare the values. There we go. Cool. So this is it trying to place the door on a wall. Nice. So let's see what it does. Place in corner. Is this a corner? This is a corner. So, okay. So this is not a corner, so we can, let me go ahead and, yeah, let me move this down below that because that's not always interesting. Let's put it here, I suppose. Uh-oh. Info to comment equals door on wall. It's never going to hit that? There we go. Let's try this again. Okay. So it's going to place on an east wall somewhere, maybe. Wall match, false. Fill match, true. Okay, so these are all these checks. So it has to have all of these. So let's go ahead and put it here. This means it's got past all the checks and it should be trying to place one. Okay, so it's trying to place a door somewhere. Attach it to the east wall. Okay. Step into this. Looking good. Okay. This is the code that's handling rotation. Okay. Update drawable, update collisions. So now it's going to check to see if there's any intersections. Hopefully there shouldn't be any. Then we check all the different types of entities, because I don't want to, like, for the procedural generator, I don't want it to intersect really anything. I want it to be kind of cautious about how it's laying stuff down, because I don't want to create impassable stuff. Let me put a breakpoint here and here. Okay. How big is non-collidables? Yeah, it's pretty big. Okay. Jump there. Okay, so contained in tile. Okay, let's step into this, because this is what's going on. So this is a width of 2, which is correct. So then, okay. That's fine. Actually, it's checking 3 tiles, which isn't quite correct. Well, it is correct, because it gets placed in the center of a tile, so it actually does touch 3. So that is good. Yeah, that should return true. So that returns that. And then yeah, this should be adding it. Yeah, let me go ahead and just update this contained in tile. So it thinks it's putting them down somewhere. Yeah, there's one, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's all wonky because of hitting the breakpoints. Yeah, it seems like, yeah, the more complex the prefab 2, the wonkier the collision gets. Yeah, but yeah, it is trying to do it, which is good. I'm not even sure. Yeah, these are all weird rendering artifacts from the editor. I probably ought to take a merge in the development branch so the editor performs a little bit better. Yeah, this seems to actually be doing what I want it to do, except for the fact that there's some like weird offset going on with the collision on this prefab, but it is plopping them down where it can. Actually, let me change this to wall text 0, because that should be the more common of the wall textures. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So it is certainly not. It is not overlapping. I mean, this is probably the better check here to make sure that's not overlapping geo in a funky way. But I guess it's harder to place them in these smaller areas. Yeah, it slapped one right there. Right? Yeah, it did. That was cool. That was a nice little happy accident. But yeah, there's one right there. But again, the collision is messed up. Yeah, this one. Yeah. There's certainly. That is a consideration. I guess the fix to that is to simply just put down these spawn blockers so that we don't get stuff spawning where we don't want. We need to basically ensure connectivity. So we can just put those there. So it should prevent that weirdness from happening. Still get other weirdness, but stuff should not spawn inside there. Cool. So Cohen Van Leiden 97 says this is level building. Sort of, yeah. It's a combination of level building / building a rule set to have the procedural generator decorate the level. So a lot of it is just me popping in and out, looking at what the generator is doing. Like it's throwing down these architectural elements. I could play with percentages, and I'm trying to actually play with some of the rules. So these things should be getting created correctly, but something is funky. Like here, this one generated fine. This one is offset. This one's offset. This one generated fine. So it's something with the rotation code is not quite 100%. But I like the fact that it is now able to place larger than a single tile entities fairly reliably. Up. This intersect? Oh, technically, no, I don't think. Because yeah, this is offset. Cool. Let me go ahead and just commit that change real quick, because I think it is a good change. And let me see if I can take a stab at merging develop into this. So let me make sure that the code looks okay. So just adding a range. Yeah, that's all I really did. Support for placing wall gen infos larger than a single tile. There we go. Let's push to origin. Yeah, no, I get it. Like I certainly get a different type of enjoyment out of programming and art than I do playing a game. All right, let's see if I can. Can I branch update from default? Oh no! Oh no! So many conflicts. Okay, let's just go through and resolve these, because a lot of these I haven't touched, so I can just take whatever is coming my way. So I haven't. The only thing my concern is, as long as he hasn't changed. So I changed this, but yeah, let's just see if we can sort through this real quick. Hopefully it won't take forever. So what happens is when you have conflicts, Git will insert these little head markers and develop. So this kind of lets you know what's different between the two versions. These are stuff this is stuff I have not touched myself, so yeah, let's take a look. Editor frame. Okay. So this looks like it's just removed by Chad? I always get confused what these actually refer to, because these are develop does not have those, it looks like. Let me just see if I can pop over and take a look at the same line on GitHub. Okay, so it's editor frame Java. Come on, why can't I just open that? There we go. If there's a faster way to open up go to a file directly in a repo on GitHub website, please let me know. I want to go to line 596. 596. So it looks like these render entities and these render meshes are what need to be there. And these render decals and render stencil passes aren't there anymore. Yeah, looks like, yeah. So I think that's indicating that head, that my branch has these and develop does not. So let's just go ahead and get rid of them. Okay, and let's go back and take a look at our diff. Cool. So then this refresh triangle spatial hash. So I haven't touched this, so maybe I can just actually just I just copy and paste over this. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like these got moved to some other location, so that's what happened there. Okay, 639. Good look. Somewhere yep, that seemed to clear that up. Okay, 2901. So yeah, so it looks like develop doesn't have that line anymore, so let me clean that up. And then down here, 3729. Yeah, so my version has this. Looks like develop now. Looks like that. Okay. Got all the. Let me just real quick, let me look for head. Yeah, there's still something goofed here. So refresh into triangle spatial hash go away. So my version has this. Refresh entity maybe went away? No. No, it's getting confused. So mine has this. Yeah, looks like he just defined a method above this and it just gets getting confused. Okay, so that should be all of the. Are there still errors in here? What's up with markers.secret? Yeah, because I still haven't. Okay, so that's fine. Let's just jump to markers and fix that one since that's where it's leading to next. Okay. So I want both Yeah, so I need to merge these properly. So my version, okay, so it looks like I need to keep from the develop branch, I need to keep this enum because we added a new enum. I also want to keep this enum as well for corner placement. So let's get rid of that. Let's clean that up. And let's keep this property corner placement. And that should be correct. Okay. Let's take a peek. Fog.png, why is that? Startup bin, fog sprite. Yeah, let's. Okay, so my version. Okay, so it looks like Chad just added a color, so I can just take the new signature because that seems the best way to do it. I don't want to break his changes. Torch.java. It looks like, oh, yep, that's fine. Take that change. Okay, cool. Triggered warp. It looks like he added a new property here, so sure. Keep it. Game.java. Yep, new property there. Okay. Level.java. Oh man, yeah. So this is going to be, this is the one I've been working out of. Hopefully it's not so bad. Okay, so yeah, I have this and develop does not have that. So I think, yeah. Yeah, because I'm doing some logic where I'm temporarily making prefabs solid even if they aren't. So typically what this is trying to solve is some entities like groups and prefabs are considered to be not solid until they're actually initted. So this will still check those just to make sure that we don't intersect those. Hey Chad, thanks for popping in, man. How's your weekend treating you? Ratty Q says, are you using OpenGL for Java? This is written in Java. It is built with the libgdx framework, and cutting in there in chat has written the engine on top of that. And I am going through and I am resolving merge conflicts because I guess I've kept my, so we're working out of two different branches in source control, just so my changes don't impact him. But the main branch has drifted enough away from mine that I need to do some merging just to make sure that things are okay. Yeah, I cleaned up gen info, GL renderer. Looks like there's a new thing there. Let's go match case. There we go. So it looks like this is my junk that we probably don't need anymore. Looks like this has been maybe pushed into a render method, which is always good. Okay. A level change screen. Then head. Okay, so cool. Looks like Chad has been spending some time encapsulating a lot of our logic, so stuff is consistent. Okay, so I think that should be all of my merge conflicts. Pretty sure. Let me give this a whirl and just to see if things are still broken or not. Oh, so I missed this. Yeah, so this is all. So I want to keep this because these are my changes. These are my old changes. So let's get rid of that. Go ahead. Yeah. You want to keep this because Chad added that in. So he understands the lighting system way better than I do, considering he wrote it all. Okay. Now? Cool. The pit. That's the secret area. I was playing it a little bit before stream. It's cool. Chad has done a really cool job of like dressing up stuff and building this little hand-built level that has kind of a risk-reward thing, which was at first I didn't see how it was risk-reward, and then the trap totally got me, so it was cool. Oh yeah, Joshua, because I still have this silly decorator thing turned on. Whoa! Ah, got me in the back. So it looks like it's working. I'm just getting rocked. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please. Yeah, this has my changes integrated with his, so yeah, the dungeon decoration is definitely all messed up. Yeah, I killed myself. Cool. All right, let me fire up the editor to make sure that that is working. Basically, I just did a big merge conflict like resolution, so I want to make sure that things are in a good state before I actually commit them to my branch. Cool. And I think some of the stuff that Chad was changing here was like around performance, but also around some file picking stuff. So let's just take a peek at that. So I think he was saying something like if you do misc meshes, like like you click texture file, it should be pretty smart about. Oh, nope. So it's gotten worse, maybe. Oh no. Adaponkin says, when worked at Microsoft, what did you do? I forgot. Yeah, for 2 years or so, I was a software engineer at Microsoft, and I worked for Visual Studio, and I worked on several different projects under the Visual Studio umbrella. Cool. Oh yeah, I didn't save. So yeah, so the collision on this direction is good, but the rotation on this one is not. Trying to think, is it just because is it the mesh origin is what's messing it up? Let me add a misc mesh. Yeah, then mesh file, dungeon. See there it worked okay. Weird. Test. I think it's test door. I forget what I called it. Test prop 0. Something terrible. Yeah, something terrible. And or test prop 1 maybe. Yikes. Those need to get renamed. There we go. Then textures, yeah. Should be in textures / dungeon / meshes. There we go. Yeah, it's doing that because I have the origin for the door in the wrong place, it looks like. And you can tell this by where the bounding box is being centered. The bounding box for a mesh really ought to be at the center bottom of any given mesh. So if I were to add, let's go back to misc mesh. doesn't. Look at the well again. You can see that the origin is placed around the, even though it doesn't make sense because there's a hole there, but the origin is correctly lined up with the mesh. But for this door, it is not. So I think if I fix that, that will help my strange alignment issues. So let's try it. Yeah, and if you look in Blender, you can see that the origin is lined up with this back here, and it really should not be. So let's fix that. I guess I thought it didn't matter because I was manually placing collision volumes, but I guess I didn't consider the effects of rotating that mesh. Hey, Michael. Thanks for stopping by, man. How are you? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to position the origin right here in the center of this mesh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit mode, edges. I'm going to select these two and then snap the 3D cursor to selected, which should put it right where I want it. And then I can just type set origin to 3D cursor. And then that will put the origin where it needs to be, so rotation is not totally messed up. You can hit Alt-G. That will put the mesh in the center of the scene, which is important for Delver, because Delver bases the origin off of the chords in relation to the scene 0, 0. So now I can re-export this. So File, Export, OBJ, selection only, right materials don't need to do that. Triangulate faces do need to do that. It needs to go to where? Assets, meshes, dungeon, and I'm going to actually finally give it its proper name, which is, I think I call it door arch. Is that what I call it? In info.dat. Actually, before I do all this, I think my merge went fine. So let me just go ahead before I get too carried away. Let's go ahead and commit all these changes. Commit, and we're gonna push this out to my new branch. Cool. So Michael's working on his level editor. Well, that's cool. Is it a level editor for Unity? Because I know you tend to be a Unity dev. Kirby says, thought the door was supposed to be at the center of the wall, and that's the center. You probably have to offset it from the wall. Have already implemented that offset. So what it does is it looks at the collision. It looks at the collision of the object and it lines it up with that, not necessarily with the model itself. So if the collision volume is correct, it will correctly position it on the wall, which is why things were getting weird on the rotation, because the collision volumes and the model were rotating about different axes. I believe that's my working theory. So let's see if I'm correct or if I'm crazy. Close others. Now I'll look at entities.dat door arch. So that's why I'll export it as is door arch _ 0. Export. And then now, because they're all prefabs, or they better be, I can just go to my prefab definition and yeah, this model here can be -1080 rotation. That's curious. So now instead of being test prop 1, it can be door _ arch _ 0. Then let's fire it up and give it a shot. Yeah, no, a lot of development is like, you know, you have to get the details right, otherwise it's just the world is broken, which is fine. I mean, it's super frustrating when things are broken and you can't figure it out. But when you do finally figure it out, it feels very nice. It feels very rewarding. Okay, so that seems to be, the collision seems to be correct-ish. Maybe. Still looks like it's, if I go to no clip mode, yeah, so the collision is correct now, it's just the offsets are not, so I need to mess around with that a little bit. No biggie. Yeah, no, I'd love to see it sometime, Michael. I forget, do you stream? Because I know you have a YouTube channel which has some pretty cool learning information on there. Dungeon sets, door arch. If I ungroup this and see what it looks like. Yeah, so that's wrong. Yeah. So let me real quick, let me just grab this door model and just shimmy it over so everything lines up nicely. Okay, and then let me get rid of the light. Let me just remove the level geo, and then let me try to get this centered. Try to make sure to select all my, I don't know what Chad did, but it seems like picking entities is much nicer now in the editor, which is greatly appreciated. So I'm going to get my prefabs centered in the scene on both the X and the Y axis. Okay, I guess I shouldn't have deselected everything, but let's again select these. These are just collision volumes. I probably should come up with a better icon for them, but for now that's what they are. And select the mesh. Then I can right click and group together, and then I can select the group. Oh yeah. So the highlighting for groups was broken, and this seems to be working now too, which is cool. It's really good. Ooh, move to floor, move to ceiling. That's nice. To JSON is what we want, and this will pop open a JSON definition of this entity. So I'm just gonna copy that. I'm just gonna drop it over here to a JSON formatter. I'm gonna hit process, and then I'm gonna copy it again. And okay, now over here, let me go to my this door arch. So I just want to replace this entire entity definition. Control V. And okay, this is going to have some problems, but we can probably work through them. So I think this last position might mess us up, but let's try without it. So let me just rerun Delve Edit. I think sometimes with the right-click menu, it doesn't refresh as fast as I think it ought to. Yeah, that would be cool, Michael. Let me know if you ever preview it. So entity, dungeon sets, door arch. Yeah, and it gets placed way off there because of this last position. So if you kill this property on the prefab, usually that will straighten things out. Okay. Okay, place entity. Dungeon sets, door arch. Okay, so it places it there. So okay, so you can we can either adjust all the entities offsets, or we can bring back the last position and then fiddle it around. So I think I will do that. So if I undo those changes, I can just set this to both 0 and 0. Save. Oh. You see if I can do a refresh like that, and replace entity door arch. Maybe. Oh yeah, because I didn't. Yeah. So I didn't change the offset, Joshua. That's what happened. So let me try changing. Let's offset it on the, I think, Y by 1. See if that behaves like I want it to. It always throws me off too because the axes in Delve Edit are different than most 3D apps. Because if I remember correctly, let me place my dungeon set door arch. That's still wrong. So the X is the green, and the Y is the red, and the Z is the blue. But usually most 3D apps, they match RGB with XYZ. So that's why in my brain it kind of breaks real quick, because a lot of 3D apps have it that way around. And again, I'm wondering if it doesn't pick up these. Yeah, that was the wrong axis, but that's okay. Place entity dungeon set store arch. Okay, that was the wrong direction. So looks like a minus or a minus 1.25. I was just ballparking it. Let's see how close I get. Oh, okay. So it looks like I'm off by half a unit. Seems strange. Minus 0.75. Yeah, so Chad, a refresh in the editor would be nice, just so I don't have to keep popping in and out. Even though, you know, I don't really mind it, but I know it drives you crazy. There we go. So that's what it should look like when we drop it in. It should be centered on this tile. And then if I ungroup it, let's check. So now you can go up here and you can toggle all the collision boxes, and it looks like our collision is correct. Cool, that's good. So let me open up our test level, and it's going to break the ones I've placed manually. At least I thought it would. Maybe it hasn't. That's strange. Could have swore these would break. Oh, these are prefabs. Okay, yeah. So that's actually okay. Yeah. So the model offset within the prefab is different, but the prefab position is still okay. And if I play, it should still slap down doors at random, but the collision on these doors should be correct. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That actually feels nice. It's just because I had incorrectly defined my prefab, which, I mean, I guess there's only so much forgiveness we can have. But yeah. So now again, if I make my big empty room and I put some torches in there, it should occasionally drop these nice big, basically. I'm basically adding support for wall decorations that are larger than a single tile, so I can place like cool stuff like maybe fountains or fireplaces or stuff that's a little bit bigger. So I think it seems to be working correctly, which is nice, which is always a relief. And I could even, you know, I could use this like how this is kind of framing up like a broken thing. I could make little inserts for doors, how I do similar to how I do the windows. If I want to put like something that would go there, I don't know, like a rubble or something. I don't know. Cool. Yeah, this is a this is a really nice feeling that it's working as expected. Also, too, if there are any Blender users out there, I started noticing that as of the most recent version, I think 2.7.8. It looks like I'm getting strange artifacts on some of my models. So if you notice here, I get these weird aliasing effects when I'm doing this pixel perfect UV snaps. Whereas on my older stuff, I just simply don't have that. Let me find an older piece. No clip. Yeah, so like these don't have like the little jaggies, and the door doesn't, even though, you know, it technically probably ought to. But it's the most recent stuff I've exported out of Blender, with both the vert snap to the grid and the UV cord snap to the grid. Like on these pilasters, you see it real bad. There's some pink bleeding through, and I've noticed this new. So I might try to go back to an older version of Blender and see if I snap there, if it fixes it or not. I'm not exporting it as FBX. It's OBJ. I'm thinking something may have changed in Blender, how it handles the pixel snapping. Like if you notice, like the corners on these windows, you don't see any bleed, but the corners on these pilasters, you see bleed, and it's made using a very similar process. So, not sure what's up. Yeah, but let me go ahead and check this change in because it's cool to have those. Well, yeah, that was me fixing the doors, and also let me clean up some old stuff then. So, my entity definition, I updated the door arch to use the actual door arch mesh. So that means I can go in and get rid of the old stuff, or the temp stuff anyways. Dungeon, nope, not generator. Assets, meshes, dungeon. And this, I think it's test prop 0, test prop 1. So let's look for test underscore prop. Okay, I think I can safely delete them now. Yep, cool. Let's run it and make sure I haven't broken the world. So it is. I guess it does feel kind of nice that I'm finally finding assets that I think will be good, good kind of final assets for this area. Yeah, and this is cool that this is actually working. It's a little crazy because I mean the numbers are cranked up to like 100% because it'll drop it on every wall that it possibly can. Again, hopefully, folks, you can see the stuff I'm trying to do with these kind of level decorations. It's just adding a little bit more flavor, a little bit more variety, without us having to do a lot more extra work. And I wonder if I should also it would be nice if it could check the wall too to see if it was walled for the entire length and not just open, rather than me having to manually place the spawn blockers. It would be nice. That's like a nice to have right now. Yeah, let's go do some art for a little bit and just kind of relax, enjoy our chill Sunday. Cool. Yeah, so I was just kind of cranking through props the other day, so I wanted to have an updated table, which is not that much different, a new altar, a new bed, maybe a trapdoor, not really sure about that one, bookcase, cupboard, fireplace, small fireplace. Just trying to think of some cool assets that would be nice to have. I can't remember. Let me see. Is there anything else? Just kind of peek around my file here to make sure. Yeah, that's an old vestigial thing I can just get rid of. Okay, that's the texture sheet. This is just a little thing living here by itself. Not sure why. These are my windows with the window insets. So my system for windows right now is I create an empty window frame, and then I've just designed things that I can just kind of snap in place inside the windows that hopefully make sense somehow or another. So we'll be trying to get just window variety for cheap is kind of the thinking behind it. And yeah, here are some posts and wood stuff. Yeah, and there's more window inset stuff, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this barred one is designed so that they can kind of it tried to design it so they can overlap both of the windows in an interesting way. Because I mean they're roughly the same size, even though they're different shapes. So I try to make sure that you can slam the window inset into either, and it works. So how is everybody doing? How is your Sunday going? Mine is kind of returned to normal with So for my wife and my kiddo, Sundays is swim class day, which gives me a little bit of time to stream, and they can go do their thing. Guess the quail says, "How about like big rings on walls? That'd be sure. That'd be kind of cool." I mean, I guess it would kind of be in line with where to go? Yeah, something like something like this, and I probably could even use the same kind of base. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing to do. So let me just mock it up real quick. So I'm just duplicate this and then isolate it, and we're just going to chop it up. Let me just go over here. I'm going to just turn the highest, the min draw or the max draw type to just solid. So I don't care about textures. I don't want to worry about that right now. What I want to do is just start removing stuff I don't need. Okay. And Tesla's ref image is just pretty darn simple. It's a plate, a ring, and then some sort of fastener to the ring. Yeah, I'm always curious if you folks are like actively watching or if you kind of have me on in the background. I'm kind of curious, you know, just out of I guess morbid curiosity or just regular curiosity, however you look at it. So I guess I'm trying to figure out if I'm an entertainer or if I'm just like the coworker who talks way too much and you're just like, come on, I'm trying to work here. Okay, and maybe 6 verts. Okay, cool. I want to rotate this 60 degrees, I think. No, 30, because I have half of that. So rotate 30, and okay, here's what we'll do. We'll Alt P. No. A P, and then we'll do selection, and then on this we'll hit Alt C. We'll turn this mesh into a curve, and then under our curves menu, we can say it is full 3D. And then we should be able to find this depth and just crank it, and then look at that, boom, got ourselves a ring. Not the right scale, mind you, but got a ring pretty darn quick. I used to really be like I don't know, like really like grognardy or really specific about like not using curves and not using like subsurf stuff. But nowadays I'm trying to adopt the mentality of just whatever gets the job done in a quick, like if the end result is exactly the same as if I'd done it by hand, then it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's do Alt C. Actually, yeah, Alt C, and then from mesh from curve, cool. And then we can just scale this down, and then try to position it. Yeah, so this post, let me just grab this face, and just kind of move this face on the Y. Note the green color. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, okay. And then let's position this there. Pull it down. Okay, this is probably not going to line up to the grid, but I'm just going to have to live with that. Maybe I can somehow make it line up with the grid somehow still. Yeah, I mean, because if I snap it to grid, it's going to get all wonky. Okay, let's just leave it centered because I don't want to mess with that too much. Let's put that there. Scale about that. That's super huge. Too big, Joshua. Oh. Scale Shift Y. Was it? Is it too big? Let me adjust this space here. Get Y 0.125 minus. Let's double that size. Give ourselves a little bit room to grow here. Also, I wonder if it should be a plane as well. I wonder if that makes a difference. Again, let me just slide this guy over for size comparison. Just zoom in on that. Maybe. So I'm torn if it should be a plane like this or like those, or if it should be 3D Geo like it is. Those of you who have strong feelings on low poly style, feel free to chime in. Let me thicken this up a little bit. Nice and chunky. So just trying to maintain a consistent level of detail is my big concern. It could probably work. Let me just see how far off the grid this guy is, or gal, or whatever it is. I have no reason to engender rings on walls. It makes no sense. I don't know if I'm going to find a happy spot for this. So Shift S, selection to grid. Oh man, that looks gross. It looks so grody. Hey Tyreek, how are you, man? Haven't heard from you in a bit. Glad to hear it, man. Okay, that's not the worst. That's a selection to grid snap there that I could probably live with, except for it's way too thick. Oh no! Oh, he had appendicitis. Oh no, that could actually be pretty bad, right? Like if you don't catch it in time. So I guess that you're among the living, so that's good. Yeah, so I guess the reason I'm being so fiddly about trying to get these textures to line up to the grid nicely is just so that the vertices line up to the grid, so that way the UV chords line up to the grid. So hopefully this all looks okay and not like garbage, which is what I'm worried about. Yeah, so Tyreek is asking what am I working on. So yeah, I'll show you. So in our editor, yeah, I'm just working on basically greebles. Like our levels, like for a designer can go in and you can create like a level design, and you can hand place all the props you want. But we have a system to decorate like the floor and stuff. But I'm also adding like a system to also decorate the walls. So the thought is with a minimal amount of effort, you can create something that looks interesting. So if I again, I guess my base case keeps being this big empty room. I'm trying to make this basically. I'm trying to make an empty room look as nice as I can. So that way, you don't have to do a lot of effort in decorating it. The generator will pick up the slack for you. So it drops like these pillars on the walls. It drops. This is just a test case for a large placement. It places windows. Let me take down the these doors on the walls. I can drop that down to 0 because that's just a test case. But it should also place like pillars and posts and windows. I'm just thinking of just stuff they can slap on the walls to kind of spruce it up a little bit without having the designer do a lot of work. Yeah, so my test case is right now, previously all the things I'm slapping on walls fit neatly within a single tile. So like this pillar is a little bit less than a tile wide. The window is exactly 1 tile wide. But the door is 2 tiles wide, and it gets plopped down like halfway in between. So if I were to just let's see if I just manually drop one, dungeon sets, door arch. When the decorator slams this up against the wall, it has to first go through and has to make sure that there's nothing intersecting it. So like it shouldn't intersect any geo that the designer has placed by hand. It also shouldn't intersect like torches and stuff, so it'll check for those. It also will check each tile that it lives in to see if the ceiling is tall enough and that it's not going outside the level. And that seems to be working well, which allows the decorator to place larger things, so hopefully we can get more variation out of that. Yeah, because I initially built this prop as just like a thing that, you know, designers can slap on doorways that we know will be doorways, but it just happened to be a large enough size that I could, you know, kind of have the generator slam it everywhere just to see what it does. Okay, I think back here, yeah. So I was just making more wall greebles, really, just stuff to put on the walls. That might be big. I'm worried that's too big. Does that matter? Yeah, let me just see. Let me just really nastily knock this out and see what it looks like. So there's that. Let me just real quick you unwrap. Yeah. So Tyreek is asking, do you prioritize detail generation by size? Sort of. So what we do is we look at this list of possible generated things. They're called geninfo objects, but they're just an object that can be generated by this decorator thing, and it just marches down the list. So the order in which they appear in the list kind of also determines precedence. So I'm trying to put the big stuff higher in the list and the small stuff lower in the list. Yeah. So yeah, so that is kind of a manual way you can kind of determine priority. Because all of these things should have a chance. So this is a 1.5% chance of putting that down. You know, a 9% chance of putting that down. So, and they also have to satisfy conditions like the ceiling texture has to be 11, and then it'll put it down. Okay. Dungeon meshes, there we go. And textured. I'm just gonna throw a texture on there, not worry about it. And we'll see what it looks like. Actually, let me do this. Face, view, project from view. And then let me find, yeah, this metal will work nicely. Let's go scale it down. There we go. what I wanted. I'm just going to kind of position it like that. It's not perfect. Yeah, there's going to be some issues with yeah, let me just slide that there. There we go. I'm just gonna have to live with what it is. Okay, so I can just quickly let's do this. Let's okay. So let me set my origin to the 3D cursor because that looks to be in the center. Actually, I could just select these edges here and then set the cursor to selected. Yeah, same place. Okay, so I'll select these faces, invert, delete all these faces. I will Shift-D, I'll duplicate it, rotate it. Let me see. Let's not do that. So rotate around the cursor is what I want. Okay, and I want to duplicate, rotate by 30 degrees. No. Duplicate, rotate by 60 degrees. Oh no, oh no, yeah, it's not a perfect hexagon anymore. I was hoping to cheat, but I can't. I can't cheat. Yeah, I can. Let's just recreate it real quick. Circle, line of view, rotate 30, scale this down. Okay, that's close. Alt-C, curve, hole. Bring up the depth until we have the right size. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alt-C, mesh from curve. In this one, tab. U, project from view. Add the material we want. There we go. A lot of times, if I'm unwrapping something and the geo is symmetric about a given axis, I would rather just unwrap just a chunk of it and then just duplicate that geo, if that makes any sense at all. So what I want to do now is invert and delete and duplicate, rotate 60, and then just hit Shift R a bunch of times until it's done. There we go. And I can remove doubles. And then now I can just duplicate, and I can scale on the Y -1. I can flip those normals. Okay. And then remove those doubles. And there we go. Not the best, but it'll work. It'll work. Just kind of throw it like that. Again, this is primarily to get an idea of what it looks like. So File, Export, OBJ. We'll call it Wood Post 2. Export. And I can just quickly find my entity definition for wood post. And then I can just add in this second wood post, or a third one. So wood post 2. And then now this prefab will automatically pull in that new mesh. So now whenever it places wood posts, it should be, there's a chance it'll be one of those. Let me just throw entity or prefab dungeon set wood post. And slam just a bunch of these against the wall so we can kind of watch it do its thing. There we go. Well, it's weird. When I duplicated it, it looked like it cleared out the rotation. I think that's a bug, Chad. Whoa, what's it doing with the position too? That is super bizarre. So it looks like, Chad, looks like with the latest editor changes, duplicating meshes is all wonky. Where'd that one end up? Yeah, way up there. Weird. But yet, oh, even stranger. I don't know what it's doing. Yeah, so it looks like, man, so the code for prefabs is a little messed up on. Oh wait, nope. It's fine. What I forgot to do is I forgot to Alt-G, put this at the center of the center of the world, so when it exports, it's at the correct position because I'm a dummy. So let's do that. Re-export and put it back up there if we want. And now we hit play and K and refresh. And now there we go. It shows up. Man, that ring is way too big. It's silly. Yeah. I guess to be honest, those rings are really quite small. It'd be like the size of this because they use to shackle up people, or they might be like used on piers for like mooring boats. But I don't know. I don't know. I could just make it a texture for the wood post, just like how it has those chains occasionally. Could have a big hoop. That would be a fine thing to do, I suppose. Let's try that. Close that. So what I'm talking about here is how we have this chain link stuff. We could have one that is just a hoop variant, which is probably fine. So let's duplicate this, and then let's just take this into isolation mode, and let's grab these faces here, delete them. I want to maybe keep one of these links so that I guess it has something to attach to. So maybe I could just cut this in half-ish. Yeah, that's close enough. And select face and delete this lower face. And then on this one, I can cut that in the same place. That face, delete that face. There we go. There, because I probably would want to rotate Z 90. No, let's rotate Z 90. Y. Yeah, so I can just Shift S and selection to grid. Over here, Shift S, select the pixels, and that should clean all that up. Do I need to offset it? I don't know. So now I can put in another plane here, and I have texture space to do it. So that's all gravy. So how big? How big is this? Too big for that. Let me just kind of play around. Like, how big should this thing be? I think this is a 16 by 16. Oh man, also Alt-G. Let's go to the center of the scene. Let's fix this, because I snapped this to the grid when the object was not actually aligned. So let me just fix that. There we go. Yeah, this object is all strange. There we go. Because the origin has to be at a slightly strange position because just the dimensions of it aren't power of 2. Isn't a deal breaker, but it does make life a little tricky sometimes when working with assets. It's nice to build on the grid because then you just have lots of happy accidents. How big do I want this? So let me A plane line to view 0.125. That should be 8 by 8. Is that big enough? Thinking maybe it should be bigger. That's 16 by 16, which is pretty darn big. Let's try it. Okay. Just project from view is fine. Move it up here somewhere, scale it down small. And I can just real quickly, I can turn on snapping to verts. Okay, so I can just grab these and just snap it to itself. Then get X8, and then snap it down here, and then get Y8. And now we have an 8 by 8 texture, which is cool. And is that big enough to fit right there? It is, yay! Wait, no, it's not 8 by 8, 16 by 16. Silly Joshua, just scale this by 2. Snap to pixels. This is bigger than I thought. So let's just try to position it, oh man, here-ish. I guess makes sense. Snap that into place. Then let's pop over to Photoshop and edit this texture and see what we can do with it. Yeah, dungeon meshes is what I want. And what I want is a 16 by 16 area starting from here. So there we go. Delete that. And drawing time. Control S, and then over here I can do an Alt R to reload. Yep, I got those correct. And then I guess something similar to how the door handle looks. Let me ref that so I can get the that correct. Yeah, so door. Yeah. Okay, and then paste. And try to position this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, here should be close-ish. Okay. Actually, let me just slide it off to the side, and I'll just do something fresh, and then I'll just use it as a reference. So let's make it, I guess, 3. Okay. Let me delete that, merge that, save that, and then undo. And then refresh here. Okay. Okay, I'm tempted to maybe go one more. Okay. It might be too square. Okay, and then like this for the highlight. the top. And the light color. I'm just trying to work fast, and I can do clean up later. Just trying to get this idea out. See what that's looking like. Okay-ish. Ish. What do I like about it? I'm just fiddling with pixels. Okay, reload. Oh, it still feels too square, I suppose. I think the highlight needs tweaking. Also, it uses a different color than uses the color. I guess the chain and this iron stuff have different colors, which I just realized now, and it's kind of bothering me a bit. Weird. What if I embrace something that's definitely more square? Would that be? Would that fit better? Learning to embrace the rectilinearity of Delver. Just trying to find a shape that I like. It might just be too big. I can certainly size it down a bit. Let's see what that looks like. See if that makes me any happier. Maybe. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a cool suggestion, Tesla. But I don't know. I'm still not loving it. But I made some good progress today. I think I'm just about done for the day. At least for my stream wise, I'll probably work a little bit more on it. But let me just play a little bit of Delver, and I'll talk through it, and then I'll sign off here in just maybe 10, 15 minutes, maybe. Depends how my run goes, I suppose. All right, let's do it. Okay, and actually, this should have the since I took a merge from the main branch, this should have all the latest stuff in it. So it should have like the crazy fog sprites, maybe, or the Halo stuff. Maybe I thought it would. Maybe I'm mistaken. Oh wait, I just launched it from Steam. Duh. Yeah, so this is just the latest version that's out on Steam. Cool. Yeah, so let's go into the dungeon. Let's fight some bad guys and end on that note. Cool. Oh. There we are. Yeah, these tend to be, I think, what trips up a lot of the connectivity stuff is these little windows. I think the room builder gets confused about those. It's not a high chance, but it does have a chance of doing it. Yeah, these little decoration object. That's cool. I need to figure out a way to make these better. I think I just think they're just too small for what I'm trying to do. Like there's just not a lot of pixels to work with as far as conveying information, and also they're just kind of basically like just classic style paintings that I just kind of quickly threw together. Maybe it'd be cool to have big paintings. I don't know. Not sure. I don't want to get rid of the paintings entirely, but I'm not quite happy with their current state. Yeah, so I mean, I could make them higher res and keep this, like, just have the double the pixel ratio. That might be acceptable. I don't know. Like, I've been pretty adamant to try to maintain a consistent pixel ratio as much as I can. Obviously, like the items and the world have a slightly different pixel ratio. You know, I try to keep it the same where I can, and where I can't, I just learn to live with it. Let's zap them with my wand since I have a wand. There we go. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to do that, but that's all right. What's the deal with this guy? It was moving around. I swore it was moving. Maybe I'm crazy. Skull and pants. Yeah, there's nothing good down there. Oh, get rid of that. Oh man. Oh, it was a stun. A stun potion. I think I have a bow and some arrows, so let's just use that. I guess they're stuck down below. There we go. There we go. Collect my arrows. There's a, yeah, that's the missile wand I got rid of. Where do I need to go next? How about this direction? Good a direction as any. Hit the enemies with the pants. Yeah, you can throw stuff. I should be able to. Oh, not like that. You can hit. No. How am I have to do it? You have to do it something crazy where you have to have the inventory open and you have to chuck it. Yeah, I missed him. Yeah, I really would like to rework the UX on that. It would be nice just to have the Q key always do a wind up for every object. I think that would be the best thing to do. And then have left click use it. So in the case of food, you eat it, or if you hold Q, you charge up a throw. I think that would make it better, at least more consistent, anyways. Got a ring. Let's put that ring on. There we go. And the stairs down. Let's do it. Dungeon level 2. Will I meet my demise here? Maybe. I think as soon as I die, I will, or I hit 10 more minutes, I will sign off. What's 5 do? Not sure. I didn't even check to see what it did. Let's use the Iron Dagger of Speed. Oh, that one does more damage. Let's just get my belt configured real quick. There we go. There's a little room in here with nothing in it. There's a bat. I can see a shadow. There we go. Man, I'm hurting. Okay. Greater health. There we go. Still in the game. 4 to 7 or 2 to 5. Better quality. Ah! And I throw it over here. 8 to 12. Guess I'm using that one now. Yeah, I mean, I don't like having a strictly linear progression for items, so I try to balance them out, where higher damage weapons tend to be slower, etc. There are a few properties on the weapons that we can fiddle with to make them different, and we try to differentiate them as much as we can. There we go. Might as well. I could use extra light. I'll put that in my left hand. Excellent. Ooh, a magical bow. There we go. 3 to 5, 6 to 10. Yeah, composite bows are good. The range is the same as that of a short bow, but they have the highest knockback, and they do significantly more damage than a short bow does. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, it's I'm the art guy, so I try to make it look as nice as I can. It's helpful that it's low res because I can work fast and try to make good use of my time. Okay, it looks like my family is home, so I'll probably be wrapping up the stream here in just the next few minutes. So if there's any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to know about, please let me know now, or hold your peace for another week. Maybe less. Maybe I'll do another bonus stream this week. I like streaming, but I think I am, honestly, if I'm being honest, a little bit more productive if I am just not streaming. It's just a different way to work. And I like them both, but again, I think I'm more productive just heads down, just working on stuff. Yeah, having an enchanted bow is pretty nice. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting some good drops. Yeah, typically I make time every Sunday to do this. And for right now too, this is basically what I do throughout the week as well. But like I said, I feel like I get more done when I'm not streaming. So I try to do maybe one additional stream during the week. And they are around noontime or so. Just kind of as a nice little, I guess, it's a convenient time for me. All right, this is the shopkeep. Do I have enough gold to buy stuff from him? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Talk, talk, talk. No, I do not have nearly enough gold. Let's push on to the caves where I will most likely die. Anything down here? Nope. Okay, let's get going. There's something over there. Oh, it's a beholder. Or not. I think we call them eyes. That is their internal name. But beholder is trademarked by Wizards of the Coast, so I can't be officially using that. I forget there's like a dozen or so trademarked D&D enemies that you can't use their name. Thank you, Michael. You take care as well. It's all. I guess that's the problem with the high knockback and the bats. If I knock it into the lava, I won't be able to recover my arrow. Gotta be careful about that. There we go. The arrows do have a chance to break, so arrow management is important for archers. Oh, a couple of baddies back here. Where'd they go? They flew up into that mine shaft up there. But let's just go down to the next level. I'm having a decent little run. Oh, I'm on fire. 6. Restoring health, but... Okay, health. Okay, come on. Put the fire out. Yeah, I guess the cruel roguelike side of me says that the fire counter, if you're running, should not go down. Ooh, a magic ring. Brawler's Fine Ring of Speed. Let's do that. There we go. Yeah, this bow is really nice. This is definitely kind of helping make my run a bit easier. So Kirby says, I have insane amounts of gold because I don't ever end up using it and I'm going to die anyways. Yeah, we're trying to think of more interesting things for you to spend your gold on that don't break the game, but that you do want. And I'm inclined just to have a merchant at the start sell unique stuff that you can only ever buy from them. And I think that would be something cool to do with the gold that isn't just straight up just like pay to win. It's an interesting room. I need to go that way, apparently. Yeah. Gotcha, bat. Okay, I think this is a good spot to stop. I made it down to the cold level. It's pretty good. Usually I'm dead before here. Nice. Cool. All right, well, again, so I've been Joshua, still am Joshua. I've been working on my game Delver. I think I had a pretty productive day, mostly working on the wall decorator for the procedural generation. A little bit of art. Let me think what else. I think that's the majority of what we covered today. It was fun. I always look forward to these, so thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who shows up every Sunday to hang out with me while I work. I greatly appreciate that. I like talking to folks about game dev and letting people know where we are at on our project. I also want to thank everybody who's bought Delver. That directly financially supports me, and I appreciate that. Let me think what else. If you want to follow me, you can follow me here on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter. I will try to do a bonus stream sometime throughout the week, and that's the best way to get notified about those. What else? Yeah, DelraGame.com. You can find the website for the game. We're in early access for $7.99. We will be going up to $9.99 once we release later this year. I think that's everything. Thank you, everybody, again, and I will catch you in a few days.